Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I have decided that every Thursday during July, I am going to be doing an album flip, and that covers all my 3 albums and then the loose layouts that aren't yet in an album. So I thought that would be cool and exciting and just kind of fun for me to go through my albums and also for you guys to see all of my layouts in like one place. So I'm going to talk about how I store my layouts first. So I store them chronologically. So the pictures, I mean, are chronological. And I don't necessarily scrapbook chronologically. I just like to store my layouts chronologically. So if you've been following me a lot, I do a lot. Like if you've been watching my videos lately, you've probably noticed that I tend to scrapbook recent photos that I take. I don't normally go back through the years to scrapbook a picture. I do occasionally, but not a long time. So which is why I think storing stuff chronologically is okay, because the way I scrapbook is pretty chronological anyway, not intentionally, it's just how I like to scrapbook. So anyway, what I mean is like all of the layouts in here, I probably made during the same time period. Occasionally you might see one that I made yesterday with ones I made from 4 years ago, but that's kind of rare because of the way I scrapbook. So I'm going to start. This is the first layout, the first album that I have, and I just store my albums in a shelf in my room that you can see in my scrap room tour if you would like, if you're interested. And I usually jam pack my albums. This one isn't so full, and the reason for that is there's a lot of 8.5 by 11 or A4 size layouts in here, which tend to bulk up this side of the album and leave this one over here a bit more empty. So I can fit less layouts when I have more A4 sized ones, because then it just gets too bulky and then they kind of get wrinkled. So this one is a bit smaller. There's less, not smaller, there's just fewer layouts than what I normally put in albums. So I'm gonna start and go ahead. So as I said, yikes. I can't talk apparently. I have my layouts in here chronologically, and I just use, these are American Crafts page protectors, because those are usually the ones I can access. I don't know what album this is. I think this is American Craft. It's like an album. It's not album. Obviously it's an album. It's fabric covered album. So this is the first layout that's in here. This is surely not the first layout I made. I'll show you that one when I get to it. I think it's in here. And this is just a photo from 1969, so I put it in there. So yeah, this beginning of here is mostly, sorry for the glare, is mostly pictures of my grandparents or my uncles from when they were younger. And yeah, yikes, sorry guys for that shaking. This is another layout I made. This is not my favorite creation ever, but that's good enough. It gets this picture documented. This one I would never be able, I like looking at this one, but I would never be able to make this today. It's just, it would seem too white for me. I do like looking at it now. I think it's cool, but I don't think I will be able to make. I don't know if that makes any sense. So there's that one. And now this is my uncle when he was like 7 or 8. And then we're moving on to pictures of me when I was a baby. So like here's a picture of me and my mom. This is like this kind of weird diagonal thing going on. And then this one here, this background is something my sister made, and I convinced her to give it to me so I could use it as a background for one of my layouts. And this is a picture of my father. Now, some of these aren't really chronological because I wanted to fill both sides of an A4 page protector. So for example, this picture is older than this one over here, but the way this page protector goes, it's kind of just made sense to add it here. So yeah, and I don't really scrapbook 8.5 by 11 pictures anymore. So, I mean layouts. I do occasionally, but not so many as I used to, because this was in the very beginning before I had 12 by 12 paper. Anyway, so this is actually the first real scrapbooking layout I made, and I do like it to this day. I don't know why. I think I really like this frame going on here. So yeah, there's that one. Then this one is another one that I made. I think this was the second layout I made or something of the sort. And that's me when I was 2. I really like this. I forgot this product. I really love this product. I forgot about it. This one I did something stupid. So I had made this layout and for some reason I didn't like it at the time. I do like it now. And I thought I could fix it by like cutting the top off for some unknown reason. And now I regret it because it just looks weird. But I do like this picture. And this was before I figured out that I could print like this is before I had a printer at home to print pictures. It was before I ordered pictures from a photo store that I don't do anymore because we've got a printer. So that's why I'm scrapping all these older photos in the very beginning because my mom had them printed in the closet. So yeah, this is another one, which I've lost an E and I don't have another one to replace it. So mines will have to fill that E in and hopefully understand what the title of that is. This one here is another one, pretty minimalistic. What I've noticed is I used to not do a lot of layers in behind the photos. Now I would do mostly stuff on the background. But now if you look at my more recent layouts, there is a lot of layering behind, like matting the photo kind of. So this one here, like there's barely anything on it, but I do like looking at it. But my style has changed. I think I like my pages a bit more busier than what I used to. This is another one. This one I actually made with a friend. And I think that's really fun. This one I made a lot more recently than the rest. But because this was an older picture, I decided to stick it in here. And I really like this one. I really, really like it. And then over here, this one has like a kind of cute story. So this is me and one of my swimming friends. And we went to the same nursery school. And I found these pictures. And then, so I guess we were maybe 5 in nursery school. And then when I was about 12, so like 7 years later, I switched swim teams. And we ended up both on the same swim team and became friends again. So I just documented that a lot of years ago. I made that like maybe 3 years ago. Anyway, so more older pictures. This again was before I could print my own pictures from my phone. Here's some stuff from Disneyland. That one, this is like the first time I tried watercolor. Not a really good example. I mean, it's not my best work, but yeah. So like you see, this is more of what I do today, but I'm not 12 by 12. Like, I mean, as far as the layering goes, this one I really like. I haven't used colored cardstock for a layout in like forever because I don't have 12 by 12 colored cardstock. But I think this one turned out really cool. This one is one of my favorite layouts. I don't know, I just really like how it turned out. I think these clusters here are what makes me love this page so much. Here's another one. And I also used to use these kind of more darker darker colors. I don't tend to use those so much. Like the Simple Stores 24/7 collection, I love that collection. I used every single pattern paper from the 6x6 pad. It's ridiculous. Here's another one that I made. And then this one was like maybe kind of yikes. I use this really busy pattern paper as a background, and I did like these clusters I really like, and like I don't know, I just really enjoy going through my older layouts. This one not a huge fan of, but it documents a nice story. And I mean, this is us in 5 years ago. This picture was taken 5 years ago. If you look at us now, we are so different. It's like ridiculous. Like especially Sotia is really, really different and stuff, I mean. Anyway, so there's that. This one is another one. Here is another one that I really, really like. I used to use pattern paper backgrounds a lot more frequently, and I'm kind of wishing I kind of want to do that again. So when you see me go through some, not this album in particular, but some other ones, when I was looking at them by myself, and I found like some techniques I used to use that I really like, and I want to try again. So we will see. And I kind of want to make another A4 size layout, but I don't know. We'll see if that happens. Then I used to also make these like 8x6 random little layouts. I think what happened here is I accidentally printed this picture too small. So I decided to scrapbook it in 8x6, and I think this one actually turned out pretty cool. And I like having like little inserts in my albums. That's again something I don't do enough lately. That's one of the things that I like to have. But I'm thinking about some ways I can do that again. And here's another one using more. So you notice all of these layouts are using the same product, where I'm using the same paper pad for most of these actually. Like this is from what paper pad? The yellow paper. All of this paper is mostly from that one same paper pad, 12x12 paper pad. And I also had some other smaller paper pads, but a lot of it is from that big 12x12 paper pad. Then there's this one, not a huge fan of. It's just too brown. This I really like, and I discovered that I used to sometimes, this is one of the techniques I was talking about. I used to like this, not I used to, I think I only did this once, but anyway, I like punched out these things and filled them behind, kind of like a cut file. And I thought that was really, really cool. So see, for example, here I just stuck the photo with the no layers in behind at all. I really like this layout. But this is something I wouldn't do today. I would have at least a couple, like 2 layers in behind the picture. But I do really, really like how this one turned out. And here's a bit of a weird one. And then this was my attempt of doing a Project Life type thing with like just some random pictures. Didn't really work out. This was before I had Project Life papers, but I stuck it in here just because I had some pictures. Like, it was some random pictures that I didn't want to necessarily make a big layout out of. So I just kind of stuck them in here with some scrap pieces of paper. And did some journaling in some places. So, yeah, didn't do that again after that. And here is another one from when I was going to physical therapy. That was probably from 2015. Wow, that was 3 years ago. Wow. Okay. There's that. See, this is, I scrapped this layout. I had scrap lifted this one to make for a challenge somewhere. I think it was for National Scrapbooking Day. And then this one is another one I made. You notice I'm using almost no paint on these, and today I cannot make a layout without paint. So there's that. And then we're getting towards the end. This layout I absolutely adore. So now the problem with my printing pictures is I can either print a 4x6 or a sort of 4x4. Whereas I used to, when I brought them to the Photoshop, but I paid an overly expensive amount for it. And also I had to wait to get them, and I had to like plan it, and it was just not working. But these are 3x3, and I really like that size, especially when I'm using 2 pictures. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to play around with some like editing apps to do that. But I really like this design with like the strips of paper and this kind of going like this, and then like these clusters here. So yeah. And then this one was fun to make because I used like, I sat and pop dotted all of these letters. I would never do such a thing now. I'm just too lazy to do that, but yeah. And then these cards here pull out and have journaling on them. And this was before I got a trim or anything, so all my papers are completely lopsided. Which today I do cut stuff lopsided again, but I also layer things lopsided, so you can't really tell. Here, this was like meant to be straight. Anyway, and then last but not least, I have this one here. I used to also use these clips a lot for some reason. I don't do that anymore. So that is my first album. If you like watching these album clips, make sure to check back in next week, and I will give you a little sneak peek of the second album, of the album that I will be showing next week. So this one, as you can see, is a lot more full because there's mostly 12x12s in here. So I'm going to just open this randomly somewhere. and show you a couple layouts. And of course I opened out the layout that I hate, so we're gonna just like skip over. Oh, here. This, I absolutely love this layout. This was the time, okay, I'm not gonna talk too much about it because this is supposed to be a sneak peek. So here's another one. Here's another one. And that's all. So, there's another one. So, if you want to look at this album, don't forget to tune back in next Thursday where I will be showing this. If you want to make sure you don't want to forget and want to also watch videos throughout the month, I'll have at least one video a day in July as part of my July Scrapathon and 2 giveaways, and just going to be super fun. So if you don't want to miss any of that, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you like this video, or if you have any questions or anything at all you want to ask, anything you want to say, please feel free to leave a comment below. I answer as soon as I can. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.